All right, hello, hello, hello. Facebook and YouTube. I'm trying to do something, right, that I never did before. So let me get this adjusted. I'm trying to go live on all three platforms, right? So we're gonna see how that works out. Okay, let me post this. All right, and position this. And so how you all doing coming in? I have the Jay-Z song. I hope it doesn't prohibit. Can everyone hear me? Let me adjust this on Facebook. So I hope it doesn't stop or prohibits me from being able to share this live video. IG, I have it positioned a different way, right? I have it positioned a different way on Instagram. So let me know if you all can. Is that fine with you all? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I may or may not be able to get to all the statements, right? To see everybody, but give me a couple of minutes to do my last post live. And if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you share this. Share this on your personal page. Hello, work with me. I couldn't see that on YouTube. Can you post it again? YouTube, can you re-put that comment in again? I did say you would like to work with me. I'm glad you um, stated that way because a lot of people think that, and oh yeah, I have my notes here. A lot of people think or they have the idea, the concept that once they, um, we connect for, okay. They feel like once we connect together for their credit consultation that they sit back and they do nothing. Hello, hello, hello. And but I tell them this is a co partnership, a co situation, right? That we work together. We work together, and there are some things you have to do. There's some affidavits, for example, that you will have to get notarized. You'll have to do your part. Now, Facebook, you probably cannot see this, but I'm on Periscope. But I have my shirt on. I may stand up so Facebook can see it in its entirety. But YouTube and Instagram, you'll be able to see it. And it's never deal with the broken heart. Never deal with the broken heart and a broken handbag, right? And a broken handbag at the same time. Never deal with a broken heart and a broken handbag at the same time. What's my cash app? I pay you for consultation. Jerry, it's PayPal now. It's PayPal now. The consultation is $50. And my PayPal is, I can type it in a comment because right offhand I think I forgot. Um, I know it's Latanya Deloach, but I will, in the comments, Jerry, I will, after I upload the video, I will make sure, I will ensure or make sure that I put that information in the comments. So I'm going to stand up so YouTube I think you can see half of the YouTube never deal with the broken heart and a broken handbag. Um, and it's at the same time. Hashtag secure the bag. Hashtag secure the bag. So that's my motto, mainly for my women and my women's group. Hello, hello, hello. First time on Periscope. Your first time on Periscope. Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you like and you subscribe. Instagram. I don't know if I'm not live on Instagram that much. I don't know if Instagram can give me hearts or not. But I want to explain, I have some notes here, the difference between credit repair, right? Versus credit consulting or what I do, or credit strategist or what I do, right? So the difference between credit repair and credit consulting or what I do, credit strategist. Now, credit repair basically focuses on getting negative items removed from your credit report, right? Credit repair basically focuses on getting negative items removed from your credit report. Credit repair, however, is not really guaranteed in the credit repair process. That's what people don't understand. Sometimes removing a negative from one item does not always guarantee, or one credit agency with credit repair does not always guarantee that it will be removed out of the other two, right? Because Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they don't communicate with one another. That's why you may have some collections on reporting on TransUnion that's not reporting on Equifax, right? Thank you so much, Rick. Enjoying my credit education. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Much love to you as you all are coming in, especially on YouTube. I have more people live on YouTube. Drop your city, right? Drop your city. Drop what city you're from. If you can't, I'm from Mississippi, right? So I'm coming before you live in Mississippi. And so with the credit repair process, oftentimes people think, or they believe, or they want that once I get negative items removed off of my credit report, right? Once I get negative items removed off of my credit report, they have this thought process that my credit score will go up, okay? This Louisiana, okay, or this Los Angeles, I can't see. I have California in the house, Louisiana in the house, but that's not always the case on YouTube. And that's not always the case, because if you have recent late payments, for example, or, all right, Seattle is in the house, right? Seattle's in the house. You gotta make sure you hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Never deal with a broken heart and a broken handbag at the same time. Ohio. Oh man, I love dealing with different states. Facebook, you can tune in to, drop your city. Instagram, drop your city. Conway, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Periscope, drop your city, right? Georgia from Periscope. Hello, Georgia from Periscope. Show some digital love. I'm trying to see if I can see my Facebook. Okay. While the videos, people will be able to hear you. All right, so I'm trying to make sure my Facebook is live and in charge. And so to get, it's called, do you want to close this tab? No. Okay. All right. So credit repair oftentimes will delete, or it will get your negative items removed, but it does not necessarily mean that you will continue or you will have a high credit score. So a lot of people are upset when they find out, but yeah, you got negatives removed, but you might be in a situation where your credit cards are maxed out, right? Let me adjust my chair. So, somebody's high. Your credit cards are maxed out. Excuse me, I think that's how it can go. I'm trying to get YouTube. So your credit cards are maxed out. You're over the 30% credit limit. Thank you for the digital love, John. And now you still have a low credit score even though negatives are removed. So that's what credit repair does. This is what I do. This is what my credit consultation, these are the services that I offer. Okay, someone said Synchrony has dropped all my line of credit to my current purchase amount, making my credit cards maxed out, right? So you can get negatives removed, but if you are maxed out in your limits, or you have recent late payments, right, you still may have a low credit score. So this is where I bring in my cash flowing strategies, right? This is where I bring in my cash flowing strategies, and what that does is it helps you to find the money that you will need to pay down your maxed out credit cards, right? Cash flow, and that's why I combine the cash flowing with the credit consultation, because if you need the money to pay down your max credit cards, without having a second job, without being in a higher income bracket. You know, Dave Ramsey, he likes, okay, someone said it dropped their score 100 points. Hello, Periscope. Hello, Periscope. And Periscope, make sure that you share this video. If you're watching on Facebook Live, make sure you share the video. Share the video. And so, in doing so, you can still have a low credit score. So that's where my paycheck, pay raise, my W-4 wealth strategies come into play, right? Because now I help you find that extra money out of your paycheck without getting a second job, without working 2 jobs and being in a higher tax bracket, right? And so you find an extra 500. The lowest has been $500 a month, right? That are the highest on the high end, $1,000 a month. I've had clients that have $1,000 a month more out of their paychecks, and so that's where my cash flow strategies come in to help you pay down those high limit cards. Now, have any of you all seen the Goodwill letters that's on social media, right? It's just talking about Goodwill letters and how using Goodwill letters, right? Using Goodwill letters will help you. And I've mentioned that if you have recent late payments, that your credit score will be low as well. No matter if you got the other negatives removed, no matter if you got charge out, no matter if you got collections removed, right? If you have recent late payments within the last 2 years, it also, I'm trying to make sure, okay, it also will cause you to continue to have a low credit score. So let me read to you why Goodwill letters will not work anymore. All right, this is the statement from Bank of America. Late payments and Goodwill adjustments. Maybe paying bills has been difficult, or you're looking for information on fixing bad credit. We know financial stress can be tough, and we want to help. If you have one late payment or some other negative mark on your credit report, you may have heard that a Goodwill adjustment or simply Goodwill late payment can quickly fix bad credit. We're required to report complete and accurate information, the same thing that the Fair Credit Reporting Act is required to do. They're always required to report complete and accurate information. And that's why we are not able to honor requests for Goodwill adjustments, right? So this is directly from Bank of America as well. The best way to address negative credit history is to rebuild your credit and moving forward and establishing a solid credit history on-time payment. So if you have late payments, that myth that Goodwill adjustment, Goodwill letters will help you, that's not true. And so I have clients, even right now, but I'm slowing up of taking those clients in because I do credit reversal with late payments, right? But what my clients don't understand is those late payments are so much easier to get removed when it comes to student loan, because student loan have so many different categories of where you can be in deferment or it can be in default, right? Where you can, so many different angles that you can dispute why that payment was late. I have a 𝒞𝓄𝓣 payment. They were billing me for 2 separate payments. Same car, no, it trashed me. I finally got it straightened out. Okay, so you were able to get your 𝒞𝓄𝓣 payment straightened out with the late payments, because it seems like it was something under the Fair Billing Reporting Act, right? The Fair Billing Reporting Act that may have caused you in that scenario to get your late payments reversed. But I will say this, late payments on open accounts, when it relates to credit cards or anything, when they are open, it's harder to get those late payments removed. Now I'm saying removed and not reversed, because when I'm stating that getting them removed, let me make sure that this volume is up. Okay, when I'm stating that you can get your late payments removed, what I mean by that is, let me get this did, is that, I mean reverse is what I mean by that is you want to not delete the entire account history of the account if you have more positive on-time payments reporting than late. So if you are late within the past 2 years, that's what's actually counting against your credit score, right? If you're late within the 2 years of that account, let's say you paid for 3 years on time as agreed, and for some reason of May of 2018, you're 130 day late. And so what I do, you do not want to delete that entire account. You do not want to use a 609 method to say, hey, I want this account deleted. You don't even want to state, if you're trying to dispute this and do it yourself, you don't want to even state that deletion anywhere in your vocabulary. What you want to do is to attempt to get that reverse payment, right? To reverse it to where it shows the customer paid on time as agreed, never late, right? And so that's what I call credit reversal. So credit repair would just be a situation where they're trying to delete. I had a recent repossession. I was not given the paperwork. Yes, repossessions are fairly easy to get deleted. Double card note. Okay, a double card note. And it did not work, even with all of that documentation. When it's a valid reason why the account may be reporting inaccurately, right? And so this is where you have to get an expert like myself. But I tell people all the time, when it comes to just student loans, for me are easier to get reversed to show never late versus any other type of account, right? Okay. And did the FTC work? Rick, did the FTC work? Okay, so when they gave you letters afterwards, and you all forgive me, I'm looking at YouTube, did it work? When you submitted the letters, did that reverse or remove the late payments, right? Because you want to reverse the late payments. You want those removed, but you don't want the entire good credit history of the account deleted. Okay, Rick said it did help. Okay, great job. But I'm just saying, the old adage are saying, for normal situations, when you are really 30 days late, of Goodwill letters they're telling you legally they're not going to remove it, right? Because I tell people all the time, the banks and the credit agencies make more, there is more lucrative, it's more money for them to keep your credit reporting in bad standing than for you to get it in good standing. That's why I tell people that if you want to repair your own credit, that's fine, but know what you're doing, right? Know what you're doing. Do not get anything deleted, right, that you've been in good standing, right? And don't get you don't want that entire history deleted when you can just get that 30-day late reverse. So people that comes to me for credit reversal on that late payment, I tell them you have to be just as patient as the people that's getting a bankruptcy removed, because it's easier for me, right, to help you, to assist you to get inquiries removed, medical collections, regular collections, than it is a reverse late payment, because a reverse late payment is just as damaging as a collection charge off of anything else on your credit report. So that's the difference between credit repair. If you have high interest, right, even if you're looking into do-it-yourself credit repair program, if you have high interest debt, if you have high interest credit card, just repair your credits and removing it still will keep you at a negative credit score if you are maxed out on those limits. And so this is where finding the cash flow that you need, the money that you need through my W4 wealth strategies will help you find the extra money coming into your household. And also, oftentimes, it's just thank you so much on what to do with, thank you so much, Rich. He said he watched my videos and I have good information on what to do with the information. Thank you so much. And so, I do have clients that's with me with credit reversal, but I'm gonna be honest, it's easier for me to get charged off collections. Bankruptcies and credit reversals are probably my most tedious things. Especially if the bankruptcy comes with a list of accounts that was included in it, right? But if it's just a straight out bankruptcy, no discharged accounts that was included, which I have seen, then my success rate with the bankruptcies are about 40 days. You're getting 30, 2 to 3 months. But if you have a lot of accounts connected with it, it will take longer because those accounts have to be disputed, right, as well. You have to dispute those accounts as well because they're showing discharge in bankruptcy. Repossessions, it all depends on the repossessions. I have to really look at your credit file. With repossessions, sometimes it's certain areas that that the credit agencies, right, have not, like the account numbers, right, may not be full detail. So that's one area that I can get a repo deleted really, really fast, real quick. So maybe the balances doesn't match up. Sometimes I don't have to ask for the original documentation that was supposed to be supplied for you in a repossession. There's some reporting errors, right, that will be on a repossession. My first repossession, it was out of Georgia. It took me and him, we worked together. It took the first time his repossession was deleted. I haven't done many. I haven't seen many repossessions, but I have to look at your credit report. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the digital love to see what discrepancy or what angle, what strategy we can dispute. This person account number was reported inaccurately, so it was an easy thing, right? He didn't have a complete account number, so that was easier. So that's the difference between credit repair and credit reversal. Also credit strategist, right, or credit consultant, what I do. Also, credit repair does not come with how can I rebuild my credit score, right? Cash flow training. Yes, I do advise about cash flow training. You can do cash flow training while you're in the credit building process. When you get out, it's my cash flow training, W4 Wealth. I think it's, because the pricing has changed, I think it's like $49 to do that, because I collaborate with the financial education business, and we provide you that business in the kit. And I look at your W4. You get adjustments added onto the W4, not just allowances, which means that you have more tax deductions. So you can pay now legally less in taxes, which in short means you get more out of your paycheck. So after I upload these videos, I will provide the information how to contact me for a consultation and for the W4 Wealth cash flow strategies as well. So credit repair does not, if you go to Lexington Law and you get your credit repaired and you ask them, okay, now what do I do to rebuild my credit? The negatives are gone. Lexington Law will not answer that question for you. Credit repair removes the negatives. It does not give you the extra cash flow you may need to pay down some debt accounts, and it does not give you any strategies after that, right, to rebuild your credit. That's why a lot of times people ask me, I don't put that in the field of consultation. They'll just ask me, what can I apply for to rebuild my credit? And I'm like, I do enough free videos out here that you should watch my video. You should have the answer to that question. Or, because that's not something I added into the consulting fees. So if you have all negatives removed, I first recommend that you go to my Jewelers Club, because this is something you cannot get denied for. When you're in the rebuilding credit process, you do not want to have a lot of companies, or you do not want to go out here and start getting your credit pulled, because those inquiries at this point, if you get denied or even if you get approved, those inquiries now, those new inquiries now will lower your score, right? And so you want to go somewhere that's going to report to all three credit agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and you don't want to have a denial. You want to make sure you get approval. So I recommend New Coast Direct. You can Google that, and my Jewelers Club if that's your case or scenario. So that's the answer to that. No charge. The only charge was your time and your participation, right? So because 35% of your credit score is made up of your payment history, you definitely want to get those late payment reversed on a good standing account with even your student loans within, if it's late within 2017 and 2018, or currently in 2019. And then your other 30%, your credit score, is made up of utilization. Someone said get a open sky high interest card. Okay, I'm not really open sky. If it's high interest, then why would you want to get it? Is that a strategy just to build out to pay down your to report to all three agencies to build up your score? Someone commented on YouTube. So your 30% is your utilization. Again, you want to get that cash flow coming in to pay down those cards that you may have maxed out. And I'm saying cards because you want to pay down revolving credit, which is your credit cards and your charge cards before installment loans. And remember, I said revolving credit, installment loans, right? A loan is anything that you have to sign, right, to obtain the money for, like your vehicle, like your house, right? So it's a difference between credit and debt. To me, debt is anything that you have to put your name on and to where you have to have collateral. So now my second point, and then I'm signing off, is cash, right? Why cash is not king in my opinion, but cash flow is king. And what I mentioned earlier about the W4 wealth strategy is a cash flowing strategies, right? Because what's the first thing if you're an employee and you get a paycheck that comes out of your paycheck besides your insurance that you may have or Medicaid? Well, it's your taxes, right? It's your taxes. All right, being from Memphis said here, I always thought Goodwill letters removed all late payments. Ben watched the beginning of this video I just explained, and it came directly from Bank of America why that's no longer true, or that's no longer an effective strategy. Okay, so when you get paid in your paycheck, right, you have taxes that come out of your paycheck, right? And for the employee, that's the biggest chunk of cash flow, right? If you're getting taxed anywhere from 26 to 32%, right, out of your paycheck, if you don't have these business kit and W4 wealth strategies, right? And so that's also cash flow, and the cash flow is king. Why is cash flow is king? Because cash flow does not get taxed as high, right, as cash, right? That's number one. And also cash is not king because the banks, like I mentioned Bank of America. Bank of America right now is yielding 0.3% on cash, right? Cash is the lowest yielding investment that you can have. President Donald Trump, I watched this video, and he told his son once, his son was live, and they saw a homeless man, and he said, you know what, we probably have just about as much cash as this homeless man, right? And what Donald Trump meant by that is he knows that cash, right, does not hold value. Now, cash is valuable in the sense that you can use it for the exchange of your goods and services, right? Some goods and services, not all, but it's valuable in that sense. But cash itself is not valuable because the pricing, you have inflation, right, that's going against cash, and pricing of everything is increasing, making your dollar decreasing, right? Making the dollar, let me log off of one of my platforms because I think my, I didn't even say, I think my battery is going down right now anyway. And so what that's what he meant by that, where he said that you know, cash is not king. Cash is not king. So what you need to understand is that capitalism is king, right? Capitalism is king, not cash, but capital. I mean, not capitalism, I'm sorry. Capital is king. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by capital is king? Well, what you want to do is position your credit, right, to get you capital. You want to position your credit so you can obtain capital. So what is capital? What is capital? Right? I'm live on Facebook, but my battery is low, so it might cut off. So if it cut off on my personal page, Facebook, come to my business page. I'm live on my business page. So capital is TBM, the bank's money, right? Credit cards to purchase assets, or OPM, other people's money. So what you want to do is you want to get your credit right. Credit is queen. Now, I do believe cash flow is king, right? But not necessarily cash. And this is why I say this. Number one, I'm going to ask you these thought-provoking questions. Why would you save something that's being printed out on a daily basis, right? Remember, I mentioned that Bank of America right now is yielding thank you for the digital love. Thank you for the digital love. Is yielding 0.3% on cash right now. Cash is the lowest yielding asset, right? So why would you save something that's been printed out and distributed out so freely? And this is another thought-provoking or rhetorical question, right? Banks lend out your cash as quick as you deposit or give it to them. They distribute it right back out in the form of loans or credit card approvals. So that's how much the bank thinks of cash, right? So Daniel asked a question, but I'm gonna stay on topic. Daniel, I think you've already reached out to me by email, Daniel. So yeah, you can email me that question again. And so the banks, that's how the banks look at cash, because they, as soon as you deposit in, they're pushing it back out, right? They're distributing it back out. And so cash is valuable in its place because it's in exchange for goods and services, but it's not a true asset. It's not something that you want to stack up. It's not something that you want to have a lot of, because number one, again, pricing on everything is increasing every day. So we're dealing with inflation. You're dealing with inflation, and then that means your dollar, that you know what $1 used to buy 30 years ago, or what it was worth, the purchasing power 30 years ago, it may have could have purchased you 5 gallons of gas. Now $1 cannot purchase you 1 gallon of gas. So it's depreciating, is due to inflation on a daily basis. And the banks are printing it out as soon as you deposit it. They distribute it back out, and the banks doesn't even hold on to it, right? So you want tangible things that can bring you cash flow and income. Number one, because cash flow and income is taxed less than your dollar, right? So let me break it home to you. If you are a realtor, for example, and you are renting homes, or you're renting apartments, right? That money is cash flowing to you on a monthly or weekly basis, however way you want your tenants to pay. And now it's taxed less than money from your job. So you're being taxed on maybe at 7 to 15% versus your paycheck where you're being taxed 26 to 32%, right? And so capital is king, and cash flow is king. And the foundation of that, right? Let me get this real quick to make my illustration. And that's why I take pride in being called the queen of credit, because you have the king on the board, right? You have the king on the board, and the king is cash. We'll say the king is cash, right? But then you have your other pawns in the game. You got your pawns and your rook and your bishops. But then you have the queen. And the queen is the only piece on the board that can move in many directions, right? The king can only move diagonal or horizontal, but the queen can horizontal direction. The queen can move in many diagonal directions on this board. And that's why I tell people the game of credit and cash flow is chess, it's not checkers. So what you want to do is to build your credit up, right? So you can get capital. So you don't have to use your cash. You can use the bank's money, right? You can use the TBM, or you can use other people's money. You don't want to build, you don't want to use your cash. What you want to do is put your cash somewhere that can bring you a higher rate of return and make it tangible right? Something that will always bring you cash flowing money in, right? And so that's why, and then why put your cash at risk when it comes to investments, right? Did you know, for example, credit cards can be converted into cash? And what I mean is, you can call a credit card and ask them to transfer you cash, transfer $5,000 into my checking account, and you can get a balance transfer at 0%, right? And so cash is valuable, but it's valueless because of what's going on, because of how you get taxed on, because it's being printed out every day, because it's a low yielding asset. What you want to do, thank you so much. And going back to the chess example on Periscope, thank you for the digital love, is you want to always have access to capital. See, with cash, when it runs out, when it's gone, right? When cash is gone, it's gone, right? Unless you do something to work for it. But cash flow repeatedly comes in, right? If you have an investment that continuously bring you cash flow, and if the biggest investment you need to invest in is your credit, right? All right. Rick said he built his credit score up 0% interest chase card, because that's why they call credit cards revolving credit, because it revolves. Once you use that money, it can always come back to you. You can always recycle it and reuse it, and that's the power of having the queen of credit, right? That's why they call me the queen of credit on your team. That's why you need that credit, because you can use the credit cards and purchase rental homes. You can use credit cards and invest in real estate, invest in forex, invest in Bitcoin, right? You can convert it and invest in stocks, dividend paying stocks that also pay you dividends on a monthly basis. And that once you pay down that amount, that credit limit, with the cash flow that you have coming in, you can reuse it to make more investments, right? And I love, 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 love business credit. I'm not talking about business lending or business loan. Business credit cards, Rick, business credit cards, for example, will there are some of them, if you know, that's why I say I do credit consulting and credit strategizing, that will not even show on your personal credit card, your personal credit report. I have a $25,000 Chase business card that does not show on my personal credit report. So if I called Chase and told them I want a balance transfer off my card, transfer $24,000, I won't take the full max, but I want you to transfer $24,000, and I find a rental property, let's say for $5,000, and I use the rest of the money, the remaining $21,000 to what's the word I'm looking for? Renovate the home to rent out. That debt does not, because I told you 30% of your credit report is the debt that's amounted, the total debt or the total utilization on a credit card. Well, you know what? Now I get to keep a high credit score and use assets, because now I'm using business credit from my personal credit. And I'm leveraging my personal credit, right? Just catch this and stay on, to get approved for the business credit cards, right? So inquiry removal, yes, my credit strategies and consultation helps with that. Inquiries deleted that you did not get approved for. You don't want to dispute anything that you did get approved for, because then they might close that account line, which would really damage your credit score, because they say, well, if you didn't apply for this card and we gave it to you, then we're going to close it and retrieve it back. And that's what an inquiry is saying. Hey, I did not, request for my credit to be approved to apply for this account. So you want to get inquiries that you did not get approved for, you were denied for, bankruptcies, repossessions, charge-off collection, and I think I'm the only one that really talks about late payment reversal. But just know, because the late payment game has changed, right? Because the late payment game has changed, that you have to continuously sometimes write 3 affidavits, right? 3 affidavits, 3 letters before that's done. So this is a process of patience as well. and you need that cash flow. So hey, you need cash flow. If you have accounts that's maxed out, you know, if you owe, if you have a $5,000 credit limit, for example, and you owe more than $1,500, that's a high limit ratio, right? So you want to get that paid down, paid down, paid down, and then you want to start using your credit cards, not to buy things, not to buy stuff, not to buy your new purse, not to go on your vacation, um, not guys to buy your new toys. You want to invest it in more cash flowing opportunity. But the most inexpensive investment you can make to increase your cash flow is to get your paycheck taxes down, right? For $49. So I will leave the information about to end these videos. Reach out to me if you want the W4 wealth training. Send me an email, and if someone can put this in the comments for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Send me an email at LD, that's for Latanya DeLoach, LD at fixmycreditandcash.com. You can put in the subject line W4 Wealth. We can get started with that. I'll send you a link to sign up. Credit consultation, I will leave my PayPal, but I think my PayPal is PayPal/Latanya DeLoach. It's a $50 consultation. You will have to email me your credit report in HTML format. And I just leave the direction for that because it's only one place that's compatible with the software that I use to do the credit analysis with, and you will need the link to that as well. And so, yeah, just understand that credit strategizing. Thank you so much. But it's LD at Fix My Credit and Cash. I think you have LD Fix My Credit, but it's LD on Periscope. LD at Fix My Credit and AND Cash CASH.com. Let me tell you, credit strategies is if people have, I recommend if you want to do it yourself with simple things, which I don't see anything on credit agencies that's simple unless you keep yourself based on and you've put in the time to read how credit disputing or challenging works. I don't dispute, I challenge for accuracy, right? Because you need to know what's your best case scenario. Do I need to ask for credit reversal? What's the difference in challenging a medical collection and just a standard collection where it might be any other collection? Yes, that's correct. LDF is mycreditandcash.com. You don't challenge a regular collection, a medical collection the same way. You don't challenge a charge off that's been written out for a company loss the same way as you challenge a charge off that has been sold to a debt collector. And so these are things people don't know. Inquiries take specialized strategies to get those removed. Bankruptcies, chapter 7 and chapter 13 are differently. So, doing yourself credit repair is not easy, right? And some people just don't have the time. But I tell you, you need, whether you do this W4 strategies first, right, to get the money, right? You may do the W4 wealth strategy just to get the extra money from your paycheck to invest in getting your credit because you're spending thousands of dollars by having bad credit, right? Because your auto vehicles insurance rates are higher, your home insurance rates are higher, your apartment insurance rates are higher. You may not get approved for an apartment, you may not get approved for a home. Your interest rates on the debts or credit cards that you do have is higher. So credit strategies and credit consulting is an investment, but it's also different than credit repair. So if you don't understand the difference, or you didn't hear why the Goodwill letter will no longer work for late payments, then watch the beginning of this video. So hey, I'm signing off. This is the Queen of Credit, Cash Flow, and I also rule collectors. I save people hundreds of thousands of dollars from debt collectors because just like the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they have to have the documentation required by law before you are obligated to legally pay them. Thank you for the digital love on Facebook and Periscope. So If you have a debt collector that has written you a letter, you received it in the mail, and they tell you have 30 days, then get with me, send me that letter, and I will quote you a price. Um, so you legally would pay nothing, right? Because oftentimes they don't have the original paperwork as required by law to collect from you. So hey, it's a queen of credit, cash flow, and I also rule collectors, right? Debt collections. I've saved people 13,000. 13,000 has been my highest amount that I've saved a client from paying a debt collector. Thank you so much. And you definitely don't want to ignore those debt collectors, because when you don't respond, then 9 times out of 10, 2 or 3 months later, you'll be receiving a notification that you have been summoned to court for that debt. So, and then that can lead to your check being garnished. You definitely don't want the situation to escalate, because once it gets to that point, it's nothing I can do, because you have that 30-day window, and that's why I come in and help you to discharge that debt. So, hey, I'm signing off. Thanks for Periscope. Thanks for the digital love. It was great being on Periscope today. YouTube and Facebook as usual. It was a pleasure. You all are like family to me. Periscope, I will try to start being live on Periscope more, right? So maybe with this platform set up, I can. And thanks so much for engaging on Periscope as well. So that's it. Let me close down this platform. Remember, it's all about the money game. It's all about the cash flow game, and it's definitely about the credit game. Hey, I'm signing off. You all have a great day. Let me make sure I know how to sign off, or I know how to end this on YouTube. Right. Let me finish. Go ahead and finish this on Facebook. And